Our next speaker is an IITian who is studying for BTech at IIT Bombay. He hails from Christ the King Church, Bangalore, and is an active member of the church. He did exceedingly well in studies and also scored very well in the entrance examinations like MH, CET, BIT SAT, BIT JEE. This enabled his selection to BTech in Metallurgy and Material Science at IIT Bombay. Let us all now welcome Alwin Johnson to share his experience with us.
So, hello, I'm Alwin Johnson. So, if somebody asks me, when did I decide to be an engineer? The answer is never. I never wanted to be an engineer. In 11, people used to ask me, engineer banna ki doctor? I used to just nod my head and say BSc. But after 12th, I realized that's not the attitude you take into BSc. But it's something you can take into engineering. Because engineering is very vast. You can be anything you like. One of my friends who's in commerce, he keeps complaining that engineers come in finance and take up our seats. It's because engineers can do anything, because like the syllabus is very vast and you have ample opportunities in any engineering college. So I'd like to point out some stuff that they forgot to mention. I got 83.8% in my boards, 12th boards, and 23,000 rank in JEE Mains. But none of that matters. Not because nobody asks me what my board percentage was, but because I never got demotivated by them. The point I'm trying to make is that whenever you encounter a failure, be it academic or non-academic, you need to ask yourself, first of all, does it matter? No. Then keep studying. Does it matter? Yes. Can you do anything about it now? No. Then keep studying. If you can't do something about it, the thing is to study. Another reason I'm saying this is because I've seen a lot of my friends who used to study hard for 3-4 years, but in the end, all your exams happen in a short time period, like maybe 4 or 5 months. You have your boards, mains, advanced, all of them. And once you fail in this, you get, like if you get less marks, I've seen a lot of my friends get demotivated and they don't want to study anymore. And they waste their 2 or 3 years of preparation just like that. That is the biggest blunder you can do. So, I saw a professor once. A kid came up to him and asked him, I wasted my 11th. Is it still possible for me to crack JEE? And the professor said, no. Because if you were, then you wouldn't be asking me this. You would be doing it. If after my JEE Mains result came out, if I went and asked the professor, is it possible for me to do a 1000% improvement in just 1 month in JEE Advanced? Any professor would say no, it's not possible. But the thing is, I never asked anyone if I could do it. I did it. And another reason I was able to do all this is because I never looked at others. I started preparing seriously only after my 12th boards. And when I went to class and gave mock tests, I used to score significantly less than people around me. But I never saw it of it as a competition. I just think there is an exam, JEE Advanced, and I only need to score 50% marks to get a good rank. I didn't even score 50%, but I still got a good rank. So, thing is, you need to look at it as how much you need to score. It's just half the paper, and to be honest, it's not that hard. So, one question now you might be having is, what changed after 12 boards that made me serious all of a sudden? Answer is, I started going to class. So, 11th and 12th was online, and I used to sit at home. And I'm the kind of person who cannot study more than 2 hours in a day at home, even though I have the whole day doing nothing else. So I used to go to class and sit at least 10 hours almost every day in class and group study with my friends. And a lot of the times I was doing time pass, maybe going out to have tea or lunch breaks or solving doubts and asking them. But these all things relaxed, and it was also a bit academic, like asking doubts or solving them is also helping you academically. So I would say if you're like me and you're not able to study at home, go to your class. Like classes have this thing where you can just go and sit in an empty class and self-study. Or if you're not in any class, you can go to a local library or a library in your complex to study. So now I would like to bore you guys with some entrance exams for BSc and engineering, since I wanted to do BSc. So for engineering, I would say, for actually engineering and BSc, I would say if you're a PCM student, just prepare for JEE Advanced because you can get into any college through JEE Advanced. IIT Bangalore, which is the best institute for doing research, or ISERS, which is the second best for researchers, you can get it through JEE Advanced, and obviously you can get IITs or any engineering colleges basically. But apart from JEE Advanced, there are a lot of other engineering entrance exams which you will come across, if not now, maybe next year. And one thing to remember is in these entrance exams, you need to focus specifically on maths because in exams like CET, math is 100 marks and physics and chem combined is 100 marks. So math has double the importance, so don't make it your weak subject. So other exams are MET, which is the Manipal entrance exam, which is for Manipal Institute of Technology. It is pretty much like JEE Mains, MCQ, which has English also. If you're from ICSE, English of either MET or BETSAT would be pretty easy. If not, you will have to look at some books, get some basic books for that. And a lot of these tests also have logical reasoning, which also is pretty simple. But if you want to practice, you can look at previous papers or some basic books. Then there is a VIT test, which is for Vellore Institute of Technology. It's also a simple MCQ. Then MHT-CET is a 2-hour paper. It is a very time-bound paper. You have only 90 minutes to answer 100 questions in physics and chemistry. So you don't even have a minute for a question, but there is no negative marking. So in most of these tests, time is a very important factor, so you need to time yourself. Then BETSAT is again an MCQ paper. It has a crude negative marking. There's a +3 and a -1. It has logical reasoning and PCM, of course. And there is also an option of bonus questions in this paper. If you haven't finished the whole paper, you can go for bonus and end up scoring more than like 400 out of 390. People do that. Then there is UGEE, which is an interesting paper because it has a creative and logical reasoning aspect section, like creativity-based questions on physics and chemistry. And you get admission to IIT Hyderabad and other IITs through it. IIT Hyderabad is also the only university who has a higher average package than IIT Bombay. You have WBJ, West Bengal JEE, which gives you admission to Jadavpur University, which is the only university where Rolls-Royce comes for recruitment. Then SRM, you have other tests also like SRM, JEE for SRM and COMED, which is for Karnataka state colleges. But the only thing I would say worth preparing for if you have completely lost hope in JEE Advanced would be MHT-CET because you have a state quota making it easier for you to get into state colleges, and BETSAT because BITS is the only other private university which is comparable to IITs. Then for BSc, the colleges are IIT Bangalore, of course, is the best college, but unfortunately KVPY, which was the previous entrance test, has been scraped off. The only entrance tests now, I guess, are JEE Advanced and NEET. And in both you need approximately a top 250 or 500 rank to get in, which is hard, but it is definitely a very good college. And a lot of times AIR1 of JEE Advanced goes to IIT Bangalore. Even in my year, last year, the AIR1 went to IIT Bangalore to do BSc. Then second best BSc universities would be ISERS and NISER. ISERs are like, there are a lot of ISERs. Pune is the best one. So for that also you get in through JEE Advanced. If you get a 10,000 rank in JEE Advanced, you can get into almost any ISER. And they have their own aptitude test called ISER aptitude test, the IAT. If you're a PCMB student, it's really easy for you because PCMB, all 4 subjects are compulsory in this exam and each carry 45 marks. But even if you are a PCM or a PCB student, you can still score good if you end up scoring good marks in just the 3 subjects. And then there is an exam called NEST, which is for NISER and CEBS. Although both of these universities are also comparable to ISER. CEBS is an institute which is inside Mumbai University. NEST is also a PCMB exam, but they take best of 3. So if you are a PCM or a PCB student, you just need to attempt 3 sections. And so all I would say is, I would like to say that dream big. Dreaming big is very important. Like you can only prepare with all your heart for something if you want it with all your heart. So I would say maybe you can dream about something like being in IIT Bombay and attending Mood Indigo, which is the Asia's biggest cultural fest, or Tech Fest, which is the Asia's biggest tech summit. Or you can even dream something simpler like standing where I am right now and inspiring the younger generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Alwin. I'm not asking